So, Joe, a lot going on today and a lot happening in Trump world as they're gearing up from a fight on all sides.
Well, they got some really bad news yesterday. The appeal that Donald Trump had hoped would go his way didn't go his way. The trial can start against him and his sons on Monday, the civil trial, which could end, as the judge has said and as other people have said, with all of business licenses being stripped, taken away, his business being shut down in New York State, and even possibly Trump Tower and his Westchester property and his Wall Street property being seized from him. So Mimi, I know, again, I want to be careful with what I ask you here because obviously you're an active prosecutor in Westchester County. We'll stay away from the Westchester side of it. But you look at what this judge has said, he hasn't left a lot to question. I mean, there's not a lot of ambiguity there. It looks like we're just going to be seeing a judge that's going to be deciding what the penalties will be. Is there a pretty good possibility that the Trump organization is going to be shut down in New York State?
I think so. I mean, this judge, as you said, has made clear what his view of the evidence is, which is, you know, as he said in his opinion the other day, that the evidence of fraud is clear, period. And in fact, sanctioned the lawyers for making arguments that they had made previously that were in his words.
Right, just bad faith.
Yeah, exactly. So he doesn't even think they're good faith arguments. And, you know, he cites stark examples about the valuation in the apartment in New York City and the square footage. And so really what's left for him to decide is the penalty. Now, I think, you know, this judge, I mean, Trump, of course, and his lawyers and his defenders are doing their thing of saying this is a biased judge. But the judge didn't just come out and say, I don't like Donald Trump. He made very specific findings based on the evidence.
When you overestimate the square footage in your residence that you live in by 19,000 square feet, I think it's safe to say, well, I've said that about my 21,000 square foot condo in Florida. Wait a second, it's 2,000 square feet. You can say this is obvious fraud. It seems to me this is the judge, right, that's going to decide whether the business license is revoked, whether Trump Tower's taken away from him, whether the Wall Street property is taken away from him, right?
It doesn't look good for Trump.
Doesn't look good
now,
for him.
he will have a right to appeal on all of this, all of the issues. But, you know, first of all, as you just mentioned, the Court of Appeals just, you know, did not allow for a delay. That's a good sign in terms of those who want the judge's decision to be upheld. And again, it seems really rooted and based in the evidence and the facts. So that's going to be very hard to challenge on appeal.
You know, Walter, we have all talked about how journalists, broadcast news anchors, newspapers they have not been able to keep up with the speed at which Donald Trump spreads lies, it puts out information that's disorienting. It's always been very hard to keep up with, as the Russians would call it, sort of the fire hose of falsehoods. We now find ourselves on the other side of that, where we're all drying off really quickly from the fire hose of falsehood. It is now hard. I mean, justice is being served up, but it seems to be being served up at the same time. It's really hard to keep up. With the 91 counts, the 4 indictments, the stealing of nuclear secrets, the obstruction of justice, the lying to the Justice Department, the FBI, the telling of the IT person, you know, destroy the tapes. Are we good? The judge in New York State saying, hey, the jury said it was sexual assault, but it was rape by any other definition. And now, again, something that we've all known in Manhattan for a very long time. Donald Trump lies about his worth, and now it's all colliding at the same time. It's kind of hard to keep up with it all. And I'm being serious. This is sort of disorienting on the other side.
You know, what's historically amazing at this time is with this fire hose of the documents, of destroying the tapes, of everything that's happened week after week, the hose, it doesn't affect him among Republican base voters.
Yeah, but you know what, though? I think it's starting to affect him when he seems disoriented on the stage. Yeah.
Maybe so, but
still
if
not
the
in fact-
Republicans
what's your point?
nominate
Yeah,
him,
they don't care.
It is astonishing to me that it has seemed to help him almost.
So Walter, let's discuss this because you obviously you're from the Deep South. I'm from the Deep South. You know a lot of people that voted for Trump. You know a lot of people that are still with Trump. Same here. What's your best answer to why for people who have lived on the Upper West Side their entire life? God bless them. What's your best explanation for why they're still with Donald Trump?
Hey, there's a lot of reasons legitimate for resentments in this country, and it keeps getting stirred up. And I think we have to realize that people got left behind with when the economy expanded, that we decimated working class jobs. Even the border, I think people in New York now are getting finally what people down south have felt about the border and about the crime problems in cities.
No.
I'm not justifying all of this, but I mean, heavens, there are a lot of reasons to be upset at the old meritocratic elite.
Yeah, it's Willie, it's 50 years of resentment, 50 years of people thinking that they've been looked down upon by the media, by Hollywood, by elites on college campuses, and there has been a lot of that. The thing is, though, how crazy, and I've always thought it was crazy, that their vehicle to get back against Manhattan elites is getting a guy who likes to think of himself as a Manhattan elite who flies around in his own 757. I mean, what it comes down to, though, is for a lot of these people, Donald Trump hates the same people that they hate. And that's good enough for them.
Yeah, and he fights for us, is what you often hear, and you've heard it since 2015, 16. It was aspirational, big, successful businessman. He's going to come to Washington and change the way business is done. He's just going to pound the desk and get what he wants. That didn't happen when he was president, but he's still viewed as a fighter, and that's part of what you hear from people who stay with Donald Trump, even when you present them with everything like leading an attempted coup against the government, suggesting that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff should be assassinated, taking nuclear secrets with him back to his beach club. None of it really breaks through anymore with the hardcore supporters. We'll see if there are some willing to peel off.